This is your news report, second stimulus check update, and second stimulus package update. So with all this breaking news, when exactly will we get our second stimulus check? To find out, be sure to subscribe to my channel, click the notifications bell, and let's get this video to 1,000 likes if you think that Congress must stop playing the political games and pass the stimulus. Remember that on this channel, I always provide you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information. So be sure to subscribe.
People, because it's not targeted to people who are struggling or who are having trouble. That's what the unemployment increase is for, and the other paycheck protection aid is for. But Trump has put them in a box, and basically this has helped nobody on the Republican side. It's going to put those Republicans, as you say, in a box. It's making him look like a lame duck because he can't get it passed, and he's taken what should have been a victory and turned it into a defeat. The Democrats have been blocking this legislation since July, and the reason was they didn't want to give Donald Trump credit. Well, now that it's finally passed, instead of taking credit, he makes Americans go through Christmas with wondering whether the aid that's expiring is going to be there for them. He puts Republicans in the position of potentially having to override his veto on this and be crosswise of their president. And he's given Pelosi and Schumer a cudgel to beat them up, saying Trump supports 2,000 checks. Why don't you? So it's just a disaster all the way around.
Yeah, and you're not alone in sharing that. The front page of the New York Post, the opinion.
CNBC states that Congress stalled on stimulus talks and time is running out as millions face a benefits cliff. Negotiations on another stimulus relief bill are at an impasse. Some measures may get attached to a spending package that must pass by December 11th to avert a government shutdown. Remember folks, if Congress does not come to the table and pass a government spending bill, then on December 11th, the government will shut down. This will negatively affect all of those that are getting Social Security benefits, as well as SSI and SSDI recipients. And when Congress gets back to work next week, they can pass a government spending bill, as well as a second stimulus package. And there are several benefits that will disappear if no stimulus bill is passed by December 11th, such as the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, student loan relief, and eviction moratoriums. And Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan is asking Congress for $100 million in stimulus relief.
But unfortunately, we don't have the Republicans on board. Today, I am telling Donald Trump, don't just talk about it, act. These Senate Republicans have followed you through thick and thin. Get them now to act and support the $2,000 checks.
I understand the criticism of Republicans who've lost their gumption to fight over the deficit and debt. It stands the debt at $27 trillion. Eventually, we as a country are going to have to deal with that, but neither party has wanted to. Is this not the time, Harold?
Well, happy holidays to all, and glad to be with you again. I would say this is probably not the right time to be focusing on the kinds of things that politicians now want to conveniently focus on. You have millions of Americans who stood in line for food between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Millions, not thousands, but millions. I know Senator Toomey, and I actually like him, but he has to realize that this is targeted.
Senator John Barrasso of Wyoming spoke on CNBC and talked about our next stimulus.
Stimulus plan, some pressure to try and get things done. There are a lot of Americans who are really suffering, and it feels like Congress has not done much of anything. I realize both sides have kind of dug in their heels and said, this is where we stand. What are the odds of us getting any sort of help to those people in the next month?
Well, I'd like to see it done specifically with paycheck protection, especially as we're seeing this increased number of cases. The Senate, 52 Republicans voted for it. Every Democrat voted no. It was $500 billion, it's a lot of money. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer still living there on Fantasy Island, have their $3 trillion proposal. A lot of it doesn't have to do with coronavirus. I was actually optimistic when Joe Biden on Monday, all or nothing, which I think is a terrible mistake because when you take a look at the $30,000 Dow right now, where we are with the economy, I think we still need targeted relief, but we can't go to a $3 trillion add to the debt, not at this point.
Yeah, Senator, I'd agree with you that any side that says it's my way or the highway is in the wrong. I don't think that it's going to be a $3 trillion bill, but a $100 billion bill that the Senate voted on down party lines. Where do you think there's a healthy room for the middle? You mentioned PPP. A lot of people would like to help the businesses that are struggling. probably an extension of unemployment benefits is in order. The schools need more money to make sure that they can either open or stay open. Where do you think there's more room for compromise?
Certainly with getting kids safely back to school so they don't fall further behind, more money for vaccine distribution. Look, we have a great story to tell this Thanksgiving of the vaccine that is going to get our economy back to work even sooner. I think we'd be doing even better.
Everybody tell me in the comments down below, who's to blame for holding back our second stimulus check? Is it the Republicans or the Democrats? Remember that the Democrats want to pass a bigger stimulus bill, somewhere near $2 trillion or $3 trillion. But the Republicans, like Senator Mitch McConnell, want nothing more than $500 billion. In fact, Senator Mitch McConnell proposed several stimulus bills worth $500 billion that did not include any stimulus check. But tell me folks, who is to blame for holding back our stimulus? And according to CNBC, millions of jobless Americans are likely eyeing on negotiations in Congress around a new relief package with intense interest. A new weekly subsidy is almost certain to be part of any upcoming federal relief package, according to unemployment and policy experts. The enhancement would likely fall somewhere between $250 and $600 a week. And that will likely be retroactive to early September, they said. And according to CNBC, Democrats and Republicans appear firmly entrenched in their respective negotiating positions. McConnell wants to pass a targeted bill with a total price tag of $500 billion, while House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is aiming for a broader package north of roughly $2 trillion. President-elect Joe Biden has called on Congress to pass a bill before his inauguration in January, and is publicly sided with Democrats on the overall size of a package. Mark Hamrick, a senior economist, told CNBC, "I don't think there's any sign of visible momentum. Some are hoping that relief measures get attached to a spending bill that Congress must pass by December 11th to avoid a government shutdown." Andrew Stedner, an unemployment expert at the Century Foundation, said the most likely thing to move will be that budget legislation. And President Trump did authorize a $300 weekly boost via an executive program. It was through the Lost Wages Assistance, or LWA, that was created early in August. It paid up to 6 weeks of benefits using federal disaster relief funds. There were hundreds of thousands, largely the lowest earners, were ineligible. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin offered a $400 a week compromise during negotiations with Democrats in October. But Mr. Hamrick, one of the economists, told CNBC that $400 is likely to be the minimum ask for Democrats, who have backed a second $600 a week enhancement in any new relief package. Everybody, our politicians in Congress just need to stop playing political games. They need to put the differences aside and help the American people and pass more stimulus relief. My message to our American government is to prioritize helping the American people. Pass the stimulus and extend the unemployment benefits. People need help. If you agree with my message, then leave a comment down below saying I agree. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and until next time, have a great day.